Greetings, Aries. Aries, welcome to the bonus reading for Kronos Wears Pink. Aries, this is a reading I was led by Spirit over the past few days. I'm recording this on Sunday, April 19th at 5:55 p.m. on the dot. Totally by coincidence, okay? And I'm gonna, dispense with all of the normal introductions and whatnot, because this is real. This is where rubber meets the road kind of energy. Now, I was called because I have already have another series coming out, and I was called to stop what I was doing because I've been hearing and getting a lot of downloads. Okay, are you sleeping with the enemy? Who are the agent Smiths in your life? Okay. How to identify the hidden enemies in your life and protect your energy. And I'm like, because we see it now. We see it every day now, or every other day, or at least once a week now. We're seeing these horrific headlines of, women, children, people, hurting each other that are in supposedly, interesting romantic or otherwise relationships. What's going on? Everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. And so, because you guys had the FireSigns had the most readings, thank you, for the last series done here on Kronos Wears Pink, I thought it would be wise for me to do the bonus with this intent, because it's so heavy on my spirit right now. And it's so important because I want you guys to remain safe out there, okay? So, how to identify the hidden enemies in your life and how to protect your energy. That was the queries. I have 8 decks here. I literally had to pull the cards first because I didn't want to keep you guys here forever, okay? But this is someone who was a walking red flag. I repeat, they were a walking red flag, right? And I will shuffle towards the end of the tarot. I didn't shuffle the tarot, okay? And this is someone that you had a speculative, and I'm going to put this card here aside because it's a part of what you need to do. But you had a contract with this person, and you might have been engaged or something, but it was highly speculative. Spirit is saying it was a highly speculative contract. The reason why Spirit said it was a speculative contract because you didn't know where you stood with this person. I'm hearing Katy Perry's hot and cold. They're hot and they're cold. It's yes and yeah. So every day with them was like feeling like you had to solve a Rubik's Cube. All right. And it was draining. It was draining because they themselves had emotional trauma that they never addressed. So they were leaking all of this energy, right? And expecting you to heal it. That's not your job. That's not your job. Okay? All right? So there is a point where all right, there's some dynamics happening here, right? And this is definitely an X, okay? We're gonna put this up here. I hope it stays. Where's that little thing I have on my desk? Okay, I hope it stays for now because I want to be able to get to what you need to do, right? Okay, so there is an energy around you where you had to set up some healthy boundaries, okay? And close out this contract. You close out the contract, right? Because you understood that it was not a balanced relationship, right? You were not equally yoked. The scales were tipped in one person's favor over another, right? And there was no restoring balance in the situation. Moreover, you were called to your true north, okay? And so you're not here to have these conversations that are chaotic. All they ever brought was chaotic energy. That's why your ancestors said, or Spirit said, that the contract was highly speculative, right? And in this connection, all that ever happened it was like you had to continuously translate, the whole saying, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. It was constant translation. You had to continuously explain to them, my feelings are hurt. This is where I'm at. This is the reason why. Da 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 da. And it was like speaking to a perpetual child that never grew up. Okay? Persistent Peter Pan syndrome, let's call it that, right? And it's not the same, not talking about the inner child. It was about someone who would never take responsibilities for their action. So you walked out. You went in charge of your destiny. You were being called, and you cut them out of your energy. And the minute that you cut them out, child, who told you to do that? Because all of a sudden, okay, and there was texting, you used to text them, you used to try to explain yourself, in this energy as well. Tell me to go back a little bit here, when you were always having to explain yourself, right, and text and see if they would get it, and and then their feelings would be hurt, right? And here you are now, you tied your worth to being able to heal them and make them feel loved. That's not your damn job. Okay? All right? We all have to love ourselves, and only when we love ourselves are we whole enough to be in a relationship. All right? So your worth is not tied to being needed. You have to let go of proving your value and just be. This is not what you're not called to do this, okay? So you let go of this need to try to heal, okay? And they saw your kindness, because you had a good heart, Aries, okay? They saw your kindness as weakness. They saw your kindness as weakness, right? You're the whole buffet. You were kind. You were always kind. This is your inner child, always kind, right? And so, Spirit was telling you at one point, you were crying about this person. How can I love them better? How can I help them heal? How can I, get them to the next level? And Spirit was like, wait. Stop crying over this person, right? You're the whole buffet, okay? And this other person didn't even bring their plate, all right? You bring it all, okay? They're not hungry. They're just bland. They're not done cooking. Right? Again, they're coming with emotional deficits. They haven't healed the emotional trauma. Okay? So once you declared your independence, and then, who told you? You made the mistake of declaring healthy boundaries. Okay? And said you wished them the best and went on your merry way. Okay? You set those healthy boundaries. You went on your merry way, right? You set the healthy boundaries and you went towards your north. You closed that. You walked away from them. You see that? They're going the opposite way. You're going towards your north, right? And you didn't want an apology. You just said, listen, it's over. Here's your ring, or whatever the case is. I can't keep having to go through the situation. Who told you to do that, child? The minute that you did that and started tapping into your spirituality or your true north, whatever that means to you, they started spying on you. The only method for you to get your personal reading from me is by going to eurekaelementals.com, hitting schedule a reading. You can get a reading from 20 through 60 minutes. We have 5 prescribed readings here. The most strategic and best bang for your buck would be the quick strike reading. It is targeted and focused on whatever you need it to be. You hit book here and add to cart, and then you let me know exactly what subject or variable you're interested in. Alternatively, if you need to reach out to me, you can always hit contact and email us here and let me know the nature of your query. And that is how you can schedule a session with me, book a reading, or get in contact with me. We'd love to be of service and help you to get through your next life audit with flying colors too. All the best. And then they started to really hate you. Okay, they hated your ideas, whatever you were doing that was new, and perhaps you're posting it on social media, and it got so bad. Then they started, the vitriol was really heavy, they started to do black magic on you, okay? And in some instances, they were saying here this was unintentional. They didn't realize it. They were setting the evil eye, but when that didn't work, they upped the ante and went all the way to black magic. And then on top of that, when they saw you starting to get attention, because this person I'm getting was an attention whore. Okay, then they started to steal your ideas and pretended that they invented them. And that's when your angels and your ancestors and your spirit guides, they said, enough of this. Okay, you might have felt that there was some kind of energy or force field or something around you. You knew that you were being attacked. You just didn't know. You figured we left amicably. Anytime we interact, perhaps on social media, it's cordial, roads are closed. But they're like, no, it's not closed because they're still here. They can't get their ego. This is a person in high ego. This is a person who was never told no. Okay? Nobody ever walked away from them. How dare you? How dare you? Okay? How dare you not put up with my trauma and my itch? Okay? Because I bring money up in this itch. All right? And so Spirit's now telling you, protect yourself. Carry pyrite on you. Very important. Like, this is a big piece of pyrite. But I also sell, I think, small pyrites, smaller ones that you can carry in your wallet, on your person. It repels negativity. You can put this around the four corners of your home. Okay, every corner of your home. You can put it outside the four corners of your home too, by the front door, somewhere under the sill. But protect your home. Put it in your car as well too. Okay, by the four doors. Okay, it'll shield you from harmful effects that technology can have, again, on the body and the mind, but it also protects your energy. This is the limitation, what they're telling you here. Trust me on this. I study crystals like nobody's business, okay? The other thing that that Spirit was recommended for you was a break-up ritual. Okay, and it says here, to rid yourself of negative emotions after a fight or the end of a relationship, draw a warm bath at noon when the sun is at its healing peak, and add these essential oils into the water as it flows from the faucet. 2 drops of rosemary for calm, 1 drop of peppermint for stimulation, 1 drop of lavender for energy cleansing, 3 drops of thyme to relieve mental exhaustion. As you soak and steam, repeat this prayer 4 times. Sadness, I release you, goodbye. Fatigue, I release you, goodbye. I greet this day anew, I greet my life renewed. Blessed be. Take a snip of this. I hope you guys can see it. Okay? Take a snip. All right? So this is a breakup ritual. The other thing that they're also telling you to do is to keep your house clean. Okay? So before any gatherings, before anyone come to your home, light a white candle and speak this spell. My home is a temple of love and light. I now fill it with peace and beauty for tonight. May all who enter this temple space bring laughter and joy and fill it with grace. So mote it be. Blessings to all. Okay? So you're being told, protect yourself, protect your home, protect your energy. Now, the 2, we had the Occam alphabet, okay? And we also here had Raido came out, and then Birch came out. Work with Birch, right, for your rune. But Raido is telling you that at this time, it's judgment. Call judgment on the situation too. So when somebody does something like this to you, call judgment on the situation. It's the end of this cycle, right? This energy was ordered. It was really to teach you about healthy boundaries, okay? And birch came out. You might want to get a birch tree. They sell birch wood in some stores. I know Lowe's, even in Hobby Lobby. I know that I had created for myself years ago. I drill holes, I get birch trees and other stuff. And then here you see I created with copper, and then I put on the crystal stone, obsidian, black obsidian, to draw the negativity, okay? I have these strategically placed up. These are things I make for myself, okay? So birch, okay, for your beginnings, your cleansings, your healing, your protection, and to check your motivation and your purpose too. So now we're going to get some tarot on this. I do hope you've enjoyed this, okay? This again is your bonus reading, but it's really meant for you, okay? Tell me what's going on with my Aries, please, Spirit, and thank you with this situation. Look at that, the Knight of Wands. Yes, you're now regaining your energy. Once you do all of these things, you understand now who is in your energy, okay? You'll be forced to take this inspired action to regain your energy, okay? Right? Leo, highly aspected here, okay? Yes, and you're regaining your new power as well too. Your inspiration, the Tower and the Empress. You might be calling in a brand new relationship as well too. Okay, you're reclaiming your energy and reclaiming your power sets the wheel in motion for you to have a brand new beginning. Okay, a brand new urge to create as well too. You get back your potential, you get back your power, you start to your growth starts to occur again, and right in time too, because we're in the month of April. Okay, anything else for Aries? Please and thank you. Clarify the Knight of Wands to the Ace of Wands. Okay. All right. You're no longer going to be, you may want to, you may felt as though you've lost your way at one point, and because it came out, you may be in hermit mode. This person may have put you in hermit mode for a long time and you've been soul searching and going through introspection and being alone, but that time is over. Okay, you're getting out of isolation, you're putting yourself back out there. Okay, because they may have made you scared to be in any kind of relationship. Yeah, scared to be, would make all these choices because they're like, well, is anybody good out there? Because I don't effing know. Everybody seems to be, like I said, a little bit unhinged these days. Okay, you're getting out of isolation and you're transitioning. You're releasing the baggage from this past relationship. You're moving on. You could have been, this person could have been an Aquarius as well too. Someone with Aquarius or Virgo highly aspected in their chart. Anything else, Spirit, for Aries? This is a difficult decision for you, okay? You might have felt that you were deadlocked, but listen, ultimately you had to restore balance in your life, okay? Libra, okay? You had to rebuild, I'm hearing the temple within you, right? So the options that you had to weigh required for you to see things with your first eye and reclaim your throne, reclaim your divinity, right? Please close this out for Aries. Please and thank you. What is the ultimate outcome for Aries? Look at that, the King of Cups. I love it. I frigging love this. King of Cups, right? And you might be starting a new job around people who are balanced as well as you. So the King of Cups is someone who's emotionally balanced, diplomatic, self-control, emotional intelligence, okay? So you may meet someone with this King of Cups energy. This could be someone with a third decan in Aquarius or a second decan in Pisces, right? A good mixture for you. Okay, it is a definite change from the person before who had unhealed emotional trauma and wanted you to have, they had like a mother wound, they wanted you to continuously nurture them and put up with the nonsense. Now you're meeting someone who's on par with you. I did say before that I saw the Empress card, that you're going to be in a relationship sooner rather, a healthy relationship sooner rather than later. And now you're understanding it takes teamwork makes a dream work. You're going to collab and build with people who speak the same language as you. Do you see here? They're all talking about this thing, but they're all communicating. They're all enlightened beings, okay? These are not people who put you in a situation like you had before where you were one of many and you didn't understand your power and who you are too. So it's elevating you to get to the next level. And once again, cleaning and making sure that the healthy boundaries are there too. Once you respect yourself, you're no longer going to put up with that. You're transitioning, you're making that higher enlightened perspective and point of view. Don't forget to do your cleansings, okay? Get you some birch, heal, protect, get you some pyrite, do the breakup ritual in case you haven't done so. You may want to do a cut. They show me a cord. I'm seeing a cord cutting in my first eye. Do a cord cutting too. Call back all of your energy from all time, spaces, and dimension. And I do hope this reading has been a blessing unto you. I love you. Hit the like, share, subscribe. And don't forget to schedule your reading as well too. This will be the equivalent of a quick strike reading. I love you, and I'll see you soon. All the best.